Hi guys, welcome, and today 5 things. This time 5 things which I don't like in England, in UK, or especially in London. 5 things especially from London. So first is about the language. When I came to UK, I was thinking that okay, they also speak English, and they also speak English, that the English should be a mainstream language here, and the thing is that in England people don't speak English. It's surprising that it should be like England English, and something natural, but it's completely different. It's really completely different, because in England people don't speak English, they speak British, and British and English is like German and Austrian German or Swiss German. So if you speak German, you can understand Swiss German, but sometimes can be misunderstanding, and sometimes it can be problem to understand people. Not always, but sometimes. So it's very similar. I have a note, and sometimes it's very similar with English. If you speak English, usually you will understand British. You have someone who will speak British, usually you will understand. Usually. Sometimes can be a problem when people speak potato British, which means they speak like they will have a potato in the mouth. It's usually common for older Brits, so then can be a problem. With a younger, they speak more English than British, but even they young Brits use British vocabulary, because the difference between English and British is in pronunciation, vocabulary, and a little grammar. But mostly pronunciation and vocabulary. Some words have different meanings, and some words like the name for some things are different in English and in British. For example, things like elevator, sidewalk, chips, gasoline, subway. That's the most common, but also parents and many other. So if you speak English, sometimes you will understand British, but sometimes can be misunderstanding. So the first thing is the language. I think they should more speak English than British. Next thing, food. The local traditional food. Okay, it's really nice when you came. You want to come to UK. You wanna try local food. Okay. If you are a tourist, if you wanna stay for some time, that's fine. That's really fine to try a local food for some time. To just try this, try some type of pies, try this fish and chips, which is exactly a French fries, not only chips. But it's good to try local food. Once. For me, for example, I don't like so much British food. Okay, bread is much better than, for example, in Germany or in Swiss. But the thing is that bread is much better in UK than in Germany. But a common food, common cuisine. It's like cuisine. It's like it's really terrible. This fish and with a French fries and some pies. Okay, it's nice to try this once, twice, because it's nice to know the taste of this, to taste the flavor. As I make a fast food diet of all these things, but it's not a food for everyday eating for me. So it's hard. It's good that there's here Five Guys. There's Burger King. I usually go to Five Guys from time to time, or I try to prepare something similar. Sometimes I use some ready meals because they are cheaper, and sometimes I want to save some money for a travel. But the thing is that this is about the food. That local food, local traditional food is really dramatic, terrible, and not able to eat by any other people than Brits. Next thing, for number 3, it's about the cars. The thing here first is about the traffic, because in the UK people drive on the left side of the road, as you know or don't know. They drive on the left side of the road, as in Japan and in Australia. in Australia. So 10 euros also go on the left side, and yeah, and here people drive on the left side. Probably also in many British territories people also drives on the left side. Yeah, but it's not about is it good or bad. I don't like this from the way that it takes a time to get used to this, to understand this and don't make a mistake. For example, when okay, you know that people drive on the left side, so when you cross a street, you wanna go to the other side, you need to look on the other side. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. But if you are really tired, you can make a mistake. Don't look to the right side. That's the reason I always, it doesn't matter in which country, I always look left and right. Because okay, in one country people drive on the left side, in another on the right side, it's okay. But that can be one-way street. Yeah, if there will be one-way street, you can look good, but the car will go from the other side, and you will be in there will be boom. Yeah, and you will be flat. It's not the best idea, really. It's not the best idea to visit a medical center, really. It's really a bad idea. It's really bad idea. So don't do this. Don't do this. It's not as good as people think. Yeah. So it's about. Oh, nice. Sorry, I was just looking. That's the thing that is hard, but. And the other thing about the cars is that in UK, as the same as in most other European countries in the whole Europe, exactly in UK and in Europe, in EU, is that the cars here is like luxury. You mean that if you have a car, doesn't matter if this is a new Judge, a new BMW, or a new Lincoln, or a 20 or 30-year-old, I don't know, Acura, or Chrysler, or Toyota, or whatever, doesn't matter. Is this car just new or 30-year-old? It doesn't matter so much, but the problem is it's not a problem to buy the even very old car here. It's a problem with paying here, because insurance is really expensive here. It's really expensive for some even old cars. It can be £2,500 pounds per year. And so you pay, then the thing is that you need to pay a road tax, then pay for parking, where in some places about £1 per hour, in other places £5 per hour. So it's really problematic. Depends where you are. Sometimes it's not possible to park on the street. You need to go to some big parking lot, and then go far away from that. Sometimes it's problematic and expensive. Another thing is congestion charge. If you want to go to a closed city center, to a downtown, because the London is divided into 6 zones. When zone 1 is downtown and area around the downtown, zone 2 is around zone 1, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, and outside zone 6. So it looks like that. The thing it is that the central part of the zone 1, exactly downtown, is a congestion charge, and you need to pay £12 for each day you wanna go there. So it's if you wanna go between 7 AM and 6 PM in a working day, it means from Monday to Friday between 7 AM and 6 PM, you need to pay £12. And it doesn't matter if you go for 5 minutes in this time on a Monday, or you will go the whole Monday inside this area. You need to pay if you will go there. So if you don't work in a congestion charge area, or you don't need to go every day, but you have to do something in congestion charge area, it's good to put this on a one day to pay once, not 5 times. Yeah, but that's the thing, that the streets are very narrow, and yeah, the congestion charge is really expensive and not comfortable. Of course, you can use an automatic pay system that after the camera will register the registration number, and after that they will be taken from your card, so it will be paid automatically. But this is expensive. Yeah, problem is that in UK using a car is expensive. And this is something which is unnormal for me. This is what I don't like, because for me the thing that you can use a car, it doesn't have to be a new car, it doesn't have to be a wonderful car, but it has to be something to move your ass from a point A to point B, just to have some car, some vehicle to move from one place to a second place, go shopping or whatever, or go fast from one place to other. It's a normal thing, and the cars should be available for everyone, even if you have a low income or whatever. It should be able for you to have any car, doesn't matter which one, but it should be able to have a car. Yeah, so insurance should be cheap, and the car should be cheap, and the gasoline should be cheap, and the parking and everything should be made 4 days that people will go everywhere by car. And as exception, public transport, not as a main. Public transport, okay, for a tourist, but if you live there, it should be possible to have a car very, very cheap. Yeah, that's very weird. That is different here. Point number 4, because you have 5. Number 4, streets. The thing is that it's not the biggest problem, because there are some a little wider streets. I mean 2-3 lanes. But most streets, even in the downtown, especially in the downtown, is very narrow. There's a one line streets which have one line one way, one line another way, or even one-way street with a one lane, very, very narrow, where cars are parked on both sides. When you want to park a car, usually it's like boom, forward, boom, backward, boom, forward, boom, backward, reverse, boom, 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 and you have a space, yeah, and you park. Yeah, that's a problematic to park a car everywhere, especially in the downtown. Streets are very narrow. It's hard to drive there, it's hard to move there, but sometimes there's no other way. Yeah, of course, there's a really good public transport, and you can go everywhere using subway or bus, especially subway, which is much faster. But yeah, there are places, and sometimes it's not a problem inside downtown to go by subway, but if you want to go from a zone 6 to a zone 1, or from a zone 3 to a zone 1, sometimes, yeah, it's streets. For me it was a little shocking that the streets are so narrow, that there are mostly one lane streets, and streets with 2 or 3 lanes. The people say this is wide. No, it's not wide. Wide street is when you have 6 or 7 lanes each way. When you have 6 or 7 lanes each way, that's a wide street. If there's 2 or 3 lines, for me it's a narrow street. But yeah, different way of thinking. Yeah, it's not bad, but yeah, also the signs on the road are pretty useful. Sometimes lines, of course, lines, white line, single, double, yellow, single, double, and crossings. Pretty easy. And point number 5, the most important, is about discrimination. The thing what I've seen, because here is very common, unfortunately it's very common, that you can feel 2 types of the discrimination. First type of discrimination is when people, especially older breeds, with a younger it's not about like this, but with older breeds, younger are more international, yeah, more multicultural. But with older breeds, sometimes it happens like that they will tell you that you shouldn't say anything because you are not British, you are not a Brit, shut the fuck up, yeah. Sometimes that you are a guest here, you shouldn't say anything, you are not Brit, fuck off, yeah. Yeah, and this is yeah, this is really shitty. Second type of discrimination is that also with from a breeds, mostly from the older, sometimes from the younger, but mostly from the older, because the younger are, yeah, much better in this. But mostly with older breeds, it's like that they will don't tell you anything. They are not going to tell you anything, but you will feel this, what they think. That they think that you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say only good things, not some negative things, because you are not British. You are a guest here. We are natives. We are British. We will make the rules. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. Sometimes it's like this. Yeah. And many people don't feel this as discrimination. They feel that this is a normal because they are native, because they are born here, and blah 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 blah, citizens and the things. Yeah. But yeah, if you look in London everyone is from somewhere, yeah, and the people are from many other places in the world, and sometimes it's weird when you speak English better than them because they speak British, you speak English, you are native speaker in English, they are native speakers in British, but he's from India 2 months after naturalization, and he will say I'm native, so you should shut the fuck up. This is very weird. This is and many people think that that's a European thing, that in Europe how it is, and that should be like this, so they don't say anything. They even don't feel this as discrimination. But from my point of view, it is a discrimination, and it's really easy to see in London. How to protect about this? Stay in an international community, stay between the people, stay with people from who are worldwide, yeah, who travel worldwide, who stay with people who in international community, yeah. Don't stay in with construction workers, yeah. This type of things, especially when it's like, yeah, of course, hard thing, yeah. But there are 5 things I don't like in London. That's not that I criticize everything, that I don't like anything. There are many things which I like, which I really like, and there will be another video about 5 things which I like in London. This is just a 5 the most visible things from my point of view which I don't like, yeah. So if you have any other point of view or other things you wanna share, write me in a comment below, and thanks for watching. See you soon, bye. Guys, big thank you to all people, all viewers and subscribers who don't use any AdBlock software. Also really big thank you to all people who support us economically, directly by PayPal or Patreon. Without you, making these videos will not be possible. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye.